Hey, what's up? So recently I wanted to start teaching people how to make a FNAF game. And here we are, I guess. If you've seen my FNAF videos like One Night Newbie 6 and One Night Newbies Reloaded, they always have a power system. And just like FNAF games, they always have a power. Well, not all FNAF games. So I want to show you how to make a CV2 power system in Rec Room. So first, what you're gonna need is an event receiver. Now this doesn't really matter, but you can either set this to either 30 Hz or just 60 Hz. But for this tutorial, I'm just gonna set it to 30. Now, just like One Night Newbie 6, where there's a spectate room for more players, this is pretty optimal. But if you were willing to make that, I should also add if local players should run, meaning that whatever player is set here is gonna only be running the system. For example, if my name was here, the exact pin will go into should run on my system, but otherwise it would be going to should not run. I'm just gonna delete it because I'm the only one here. Just keep in mind, an update 30 Hz is this fires 30 times per second. Now my version, there's two variables that make this work. One, that's the timer, which will fire with the 30 Hz, and the actual power. So don't worry about this. What I just put here is just a Boolean switch so that I can just deactivate and reactivate the system however I want. You don't need to really do this, but if you want, it's just a switch, so it can switch between deactivating and activating the system. Next, you're gonna want to get an add chip, and you're gonna wire the output of this into here and the input into the output of the add. And you're gonna do 1. Now I'll actually make a usage system also with this, because you're gonna definitely need that. So how to make a usage with the usage also, just make another variable called usage, and for now you can just set this to 1, so you can hook it up to here. Alright, and so now that we got our thing hooked up to the timer here, we can just grab our logic. You're gonna get a greater or equal to, you're gonna drag another if here, hook up here to condition, and you're gonna hook up the A here. We can set this to like what, 60? This event receiver will fire 30 times per second. Now since we have this on 60, 30 times 2 is 60, meaning that every 2 seconds this will be greater or equal to. Once we reach 60 on the timer, we could reset the timer so it goes down to 0. We can hook this up to the then, and now we can bring in our power variable. Take our power variable, hook it up to here, and then you're gonna grab a subtract. You're gonna hook up the input to the output of the variable and the input to the output of the variable, and minus it by 1. I'm gonna set up a text just to show this. So now that we're done, I can finally show you. So it runs through. Now it goes down, and I didn't even set this up correctly. Never mind. So now every 2 seconds, this is going down by 1 because it's set to 60, and we can always change this to any value. So 120, 90, 100. So 120 meaning every 4 seconds the power minuses by 1. And obviously to make this go down faster, we can always change how much usage is in this variable, meaning that this adds by 2 now, which will go even faster, and the power will go down more faster also. So the rundown here is, we got our event receiver, 30 Hz, which means this fires 30 times per second, meaning that this timer adds 30 per second, and also based on how much usage we have. So we can say just 30 equals 1 second, if you think about it. We run our if, we go through an if chip, checking if the A is greater or equal to B, which is 120. If it is, the timer resets to 0, and we minus 1 from our power. Our power out variable, which is also optional, well, not really, in most cases. This also checks every time this goes down if the power equals 0. If it is true, it'll set this Boolean variable to true. This is a really weird tutorial. I've never done anything like this, and yeah, I kind of explain things at a very confusing ass rate. Yeah, so that's how you make a power system, well, my version. Let me know if I should make a series on CV2 tutorials, like specifically for FNAF games, because we got One Eye Bays, but it's still buggy, and I don't plan on fixing them actually, because I'm too lazy. But yeah, let me know if I should make more CV2 tutorials or specifically for FNAF. Anyways, see ya.